here. It is Tuesday, and not just any Tuesday. It's 4/20, and this is the PD Skillz Show. Oh, look at them, loaded up. So with that said, my guest this week is the monster crunching, drywall punching, don't give a shit if the girl's got a husband, that Kyle.
I love that introduction, dude. Larry Legend would be jealous.
Well, you know, I got to do it right. Got to give you something right.
I love it.
So
this one quick.
We got a problem already, and I actually came prepared for this problem today. So I was telling someone how you've been chirping me on Facebook about out smoking me. And here we are, the 420 episode. I come to the show with my joint, rolled, just smoking, have conversation, and you come with your bong, your marijuana leaf in the background, and all your apparatuses. And I want to tell you that I came prepared for this because you want to outdo the weed wrestler on the weed.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle, today for you, I got a special one. And not only does it not being green be good because it works with my green screen and all that stuff, but I figured I'd come on the show today and out douchebag the douchebag.
Oh, look at this guy.
Not only is it a monster, it's fucking vegan, bitch.
Oh my god.
You're a douche.
Going on a couple different levels on that one.
I came prepared. I knew it. Special trip to the store because I knew you were coming for the crown.
Cheers, brother. Straight on. Right on.
All right. So
got another one loaded for in a bit.
Yeah, there you go. So actually, we talked a little bit beforehand because I didn't want to really get into it if you hadn't watched. So you're on the side where WrestleMania season's come and gone. You know, it's more than just about WrestleMania at that time. And it seems you were telling me you watched more of the, you know, the indie brands that were to offer. What did you watch this year for Mania season?
Well, for the first time, I definitely checked out Spring Break. I told myself, I'm like, all right, I'm going to definitely pay for this. I saw like, you know, the thing on Fight TV where it was like pay like $120 or whatever and get all the shows, right? Which I was going to do, but then I'm like, there are like a few of these that I probably won't watch or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, you got to do stuff during the day, right? You only got a couple days off. So
yeah, there's so much content. Like I watched a little bit of everything. Like I at least tried to catch the main event of every single thing that was available to me.
Straight up, good call. I didn't check out everything for sure, but it was Spring Break, which was awesome. Planet Death, which was awesome. Obviously, they crowned new champion, which was cool. ICW, No Holds Barred, they crowned new champion too. That match was insane. John Wayne Murdoch and Eric Ryan. That was
sweet. It was supposed to be something else, wasn't it?
I don't even remember, honestly.
I feel like
they had to change so many different things, like, you know, so it's, you know.
Yeah, I know one match changed. I think it was on the Planet Death that I was watching. They did the, was that the show they did the syringe gimmick on? Did you watch the show front to back?
I did, yeah.
I think it was that when they did the syringes in the hand to pin the guy down.
I might just be too desensitized having seen so many things. Like I just don't know where that particular spot was. But yeah, no, definitely. I do remember that. I don't remember which show it was though.
Okay. And did you watch like Bloodsport or anything like that?
I didn't watch Bloodsport because I honestly, like I spent so much money already. I was just like
yeah, fair enough. You know. Yeah, you could definitely go broke during that season too.
Easily. Just
that's
that
why
whole weekend.
Some people are like, oh, WrestleMania costs so much to watch. I mean, before the network, obviously. Now it's dirt cheap. But like they used to complain about it before, but now it's like to catch up on all the cool indie stuff, like you're spending, you know, a knot.
Straight up, man. I was happy to do it though. It was pretty dope.
So has that always been the case for you where you've liked the underground stuff more than the mainstream wrestling, or is it kind of something that you picked up over time?
When I first started like watching, like it was definitely what got me into it was I had a buddy of mine that like in math class, he would like, wear Jeff Hardy shirts and stuff like that. And I'd be like, what is that or whatever? And he'd be like, oh man, it's like WWE, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. This is back in like 2007. So I'm just like, okay, let's, check out some wrestling. So like I was watching like some YouTube stuff, but it was only like classic stuff that I was watching, like old school WCW, like with Roddy Piper and like, guys like that. Those honestly, Roddy Piper was the reason I got into everything to begin with. I was watching a Hulk Hogan documentary that my mom just happened to like have on when I was like super young, and like Hulk Hogan, of course, is like super over as he is and everything. And like,
oh yeah, he was the be all end all then.
That's what I'm saying. And then I had this one guy who just kept, screaming and spitting in his face and, like talking shit and never stopping. You know what I mean? Like even like if Hogan would get in his face too, he didn't care, even though he's like so much bigger than he was, right? And I'm like, okay, I identify with this guy, man. Like he's from Canada, he's got Scottish blood like I do, blue eyes, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, this guy and I are, I can make a connection here. So from there, I just kind of like built where it was like I got the Legends of Wrestling video game for GameCube, and then I got SmackDown versus Raw, the first one. The one where they let you bang the divas for some reason. I don't know. I still don't understand why
I don't get any of that
part
stuff
in there. I don't understand why they did that.
Much like any of the old product, it's fucking dated. And
I honestly, like, I wish there was more I remembered about that game other than that and Rene Dupree like mentioning his dog every chance that he could get. And then like, just like
most memorable moment of the game.
My dog Fifi.
Yeah, legit. Rene Dupree's dog.
Legit. So like, legit from there, it was more like, finding like video games to play and like watching whenever I could. And I ran into backyard wrestling. You know what I mean? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I remember the video game when it came out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like, you go through it and you see all these names, right, that you don't recognize. There's like maybe a couple that you recognize from like ECW, like maybe if you were like a huge, which I was all over Wikipedia and shit.
If you were a fucking juggalo, you knew who every single goddamn person in the game was.
Which I absolutely was. Like,
yeah, so that's what I mean. Like me too. Like absolutely. I've actually rapped at a couple gatherings and wrestled at a gathering before. So like I've been right into that crowd.
Dude, I'm so jealous, man. That's on my bucket list, dude. Like, I used to like straight up like on YouTube, I would watch like Ian and Wayne Bloody. I would watch, Boondocks come out with Too Tough Tony.
Yeah.
And Tracy Smothers, you know what I mean? Like all these awesome like badass JCW videos and like Strangle Mania and all that. So to answer your question, essentially, I started with like WWE and like old school stuff, but then once I saw that there was an underground, that's all I fucking wanted to see. You know what I mean? So like I just kind of dug into that. For sure.
It just kind of like pushes your limits of like what you want to see, right?
Absolutely. That's absolutely.
Yeah. And your thrillometer, so to speak, gets thrown out of whack.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Hard to go backwards.
That's what I'm saying.
I still find it easy for both because my thing is, as much as I love watching deathmatch wrestling and I love a good dose of everything, like my first passion is like that real storytelling, like dramatic wrestling. Like I'm a sucker for it. Absolutely. I'm a sucker for the big soap opera that it is, sports entertainment.
Absolutely. One of the first storylines that ever hooked me was I was watching the Rise and Fall of ECW DVD, right?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, like when I heard about this storyline, this one particular one, where, well, I guess there's a couple, but the ones particular was Raven and the Sandman. And how he like, stole his family and all that shit.
That was a fucking hot storyline.
Right? It was incredible. Basically anything Raven was involved in was like the best dramatic shit. Like I loved how he brought Beulah in as like the fat chick from camp that got hot just to fuck with Tommy Dreamer. Just this little shit. You know what I mean? I love that stuff.
The ECW, like they sold their shit. Like they went to, no pun intended, extreme lengths to like get you to buy in.
Oh yeah, totally. Like when the Sandman got blind and how he stayed at his house and didn't go out, and how his wife would answer the door, and like all this other stuff, and he kept kayfabe the whole time, and he was just like, yo guys, like where's the Sandman at, stuff like that, and he
Yeah.
wouldn't answer his phone, right? Like, oh man, stuff like that is so
Yeah,
cool.
like really sold it.
Love that, and you don't see it enough today. Love it.
No, but it's hard to pull off today, right? Because like even in the most secluded areas, you're on camera and people can watch, and like it's, you know, back then it wasn't like someone could grab their phone out and put it on the internet. Like you could really sell an angle, because it's not like, even if they said, oh, I saw so and so out in public, like it was all hearsay at that point.
You remember like how big a deal the curtain call was, and that was just a fan.
Absolutely. Hey, that was, as a kid, and still some of them are maintained on my list to this day. The Click is my shit forever. Absolutely. And always. Even with all the fucking internet tearing down Xbox with these Xbox a little bitch things, I still love the Click, and fucking Xbox is still a fucking legend. So fuck a hater.
Absolutely love X-Pac. Always have. He's definitely been one of my favorites.
Yeah. So much like you kind of transitioned from traditional wrestling over to, preferring a lot of the more independent and the grimy hardcore stuff. Right now we see that Kyle punching drywall, chugging monsters, all that ignorant shit. But I mean, it hasn't always been that way as far as you and professional wrestling, at least as far as what I could see. And I kind of want to do a little rewind to the start on, your wrestling career. What got you into pro wrestling? Not as far as the passion, like we've covered that, but I mean, is like, where did you get your start?
Okay, so what happened was I graduated high school, and then a buddy of mine who I went to school with, and we were pretty good friends, definitely brother-like to this day, because he let this happen, let me stay at his house for free. He lived with his mom and his stepdad, and legitimately had a room for me, a bed and everything, let me stay there. And this is in Richmond Hill, right? Okay. So it was a bus and another bus to get to Squared Circle training, and that's where I went. I paid my $2,000, and I went in for my first class the second week of January in 2012. And I remember walking into the place thinking to myself that it was going to be like this extravagant sort of like essentially what the Performance Center ended up being. You know what I mean? Like in my brain, right? Because you never see pictures. Yeah. Right? So, like back then. So like, in my brain, that's what it was. So I show up and it's like this, like, all respect to it, but it was like a storage closet almost.
And you know what? 9 out of 10 times that's the case. It's a garage or a warehouse or whatever the case, storage facility, whatever the case is. Yeah.
Absolutely. And like, there was enough room in there for the 2 rings that Fuego had. And you could open like the garage door thing, and then there was like his little office, and then there was like a locker room, if you could call it that. Like, it's kind of just a room where we changed with some benches. And and that's similar
to the Can-Am school in Windsor. It's it's a garage style, like it's got a little room around the ring, but I mean, it little area, the ring, office, pisser, and that's it.
Legit. Oh yeah, straight up the pisser. Yeah. The handle always got stuck, and Beth Phoenix got stuck in there once. That was awesome. Love that. So I get there my first day, and they were already kind of like into shit, and so I kind of get.
So what? You were late.
Ring. I was late. This is what it was.
Fucking Kyle. Nobody. That's a Kyle thing.
Yo, nobody told me, because what happened was the website hadn't been updated in friggin' years. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, it said that training started at 2 and ended at 5, like on the website, but they had since moved it to 1, and it was 1 until like 4. So it was like, I came at 2 thinking, like right at 2, thinking like I'm gonna be like one of the first people there. Meanwhile, like they're all in the ring, they're doing shit, and I'm just like show up like. Yeah,
you get there, you're like, I really am one of the first people there. No one's fucking here.
Legit, and I walk in and they're doing shit.
Of the door, you're like, this sounds a lot like wrestling. Fuck.
Legit. And it was so weird too, because I had like Phil, I think, came with me, the guy that I was living with, and I'm pretty sure his mom came too. And it was weird because it was like, okay guys, I guess I'm just gonna like go put my shorts on and start wrestling. Like so like they just kind of like chilled and like went off and did stuff and then came to pick me up after. But it was like, I get in the ring and Tomer Shalom showed me how to do a headlock. And it took me 25 tries to do it right. I counted. I counted. I'll never forget that.
25th time's a motherfucking charm.
Legit. And he was like pissy the whole time, like just, you suck. What are you doing? Love that guy.
So that's where you had started with your training and that. And then where did you go on to wrestle your first match?
Well, I trained for like pretty much a year, and then my first like actual like book, I wouldn't call it a match, but like my first actual like time on a show was a battle royal in Hamilton that was hosted by it was like different wrestling things in Hamilton. I'm pretty sure like Fringe Pro was a thing back then.
Yeah, okay.
And that was the one that was like I was representing, if that makes sense. And it was in like this battle royal, and at the beginning, and I got thrown out like fourth by like Tommy Powers.
Okay.
And then I got invited back after that to have an actual match, and so I teamed with Xavier Rome. I teamed with this guy against it was a three-way tag. It was Josh Rogan and Timothy Crane, and there was another team of JK47 and this masked dude. I forget his name. I'm sorry. I don't think he's wrestling anymore, so I don't think he'll like be pissed or whatever. But so anyway,
he's gonna be like, what a fucking Kyle.
Legit. And so like it was supposed to be just a tag match, but they changed it to a three-way like right away. So we had to like, and it was elimination too. So it was the weirdest thing, right? So I get kicked in the side of the head at one point during the match, and I get a concussion, legitimate concussion, right? And the finish to the match is my partner does his Wade Barrett wasteland fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I come off the top I'm the illegal dude coming off the top with an elbow to this guy while he's going to take out the partner so that he can then come back and get the pin. So what happened was I go to the top rope concussed because I see him do the move and I'm like, oh no, I got to do the move now, right? Because concussed. So I go up to the top, and they had live commentary there with a dude named Josh and a guy, Bill Chase.
Yeah,
and,
I know Bill Chase.
Straight up. And
well, I mean, I don't know Bill Chase, but like, I
know of him, right? Yeah. Straight up.
Oh, he's a good guy.
He's all right. I haven't talked to him in forever, but I love it. I love doing commentary with him. So he like called my elbow drop that I did a Shawn Michaels style elbow. And I was like, Shawn Michaels style elbow, the only way I could ever pull that off is if I was concussed. Like, so I call it the concussion elbow. So yeah, mostly Hamilton was where I started doing stuff. My first singles match was against Shane Saber.
Now I've seen pictures from what looks like some of your earlier stuff there. So like I said, it hasn't always been that Kyle. What did things look like back then? Like
okay, so what's that?
Did you go by a different name?
I did. Well, while we were in training, there was a bunch of us that like had our gimmicks figured out already, like what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to be was like a Sex Pistols, British punk, anarchist dude.
Okay.
Complete with British accent though. Like I was gonna be from Manchester, England.
So you wanted to be extremely unrelatable.
Legit. I wanted to be, because nobody else was doing it. This is what it was in my brain.
It's like, so much thought into it.
Yeah, dude, it was so much. It was down to the name and everything. I was Adrian Anarcho, the 2 A's, so that I could use the anarchy symbol.
Yeah, okay.
legit. And so, I don't know, I bought like my first pair of boots from this dude named Volino, and he made me kick pads with the A on it and shit. And I think I only did Adrian Anarcho like 4 times, I think. Yeah. I think I only wrestled 4 times, and I would get to the place, and everyone would know that like I wasn't British. Well, some of them, right? But I would talk in the accent the whole time, like just to, you know, just try to kayfabe, right? And so what's really funny about that is I was at another show in Hamilton, and I wasn't doing the accent, and Steve Brown thought that I was actually from England. So when he heard me talking regularly, he comes over to me and he says, what the are you not actually from England? I'm like, nah, bro. Like, what? And he's like, son of a bitch.
You fucking worked him.
Legit, I had worked him and shit. And then he tried to steal my Batman bag. That's okay. But yeah, no, legit. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I'm too stupid.
No. So you went from, you know, that was your starting gimmick. You said you did it about 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And like,
well, a couple, it was like a year, but
not 4. Well, sorry, 4 shows, not 4 weeks. But I mean, you know, when you're first getting started, that, you know, four shows can be a fucking eternity.
Oh, bro, now straight up.
Now, so you went from that gimmick to eventually morphing to that Kyle. Where's the origins? What is the birth of that Kyle? Like, did you just like fall face first into drywall one day and decide I'm going to be a douchebag, or was there a thought process behind this?
Legit. Well, like there was this like real like long break that I took from wrestling because I was like trying to like figure out adulthood. I started when I was 18, so like, you know, I hadn't experienced anything, and I was straight edge when I first started. So like there's so much life that I hadn't lived, you know what I mean? So I ended up kind of drifting away. And when I came back in 2016, I had a match with a guy named Jason Chase in Lindsay at a show that I promoted. And under like Smash Wrestling was behind it, and stuff like that. Their Infinity promotion or whatever. Yeah. And so you can still find that match on their streaming
Smash
service.
Wrestling's Zooty, so to fucking speak.
Legit. And what's really funny about that is I got paid like $100 for that. I thought it was like really awesome, but like I lost like $1,400.
Yeah, I've heard the rumors of that being a fucking bum deal for a few people.
Oh, straight up. But no, it wasn't that bad. It was fine. I had like 100 people there. But so I had this match with them, and my name was Ryan Reedus. The Ryan with 2 A's to pay tribute to my buddy Phil, whose backyard wrestling name was Ryan Lane with 2 A's. Because that's like some weird thing I told him that I would do for him, and I did that. Fair enough. I definitely did that. And the Reedus came from Norman Reedus, and because I was a big Boondock Saints Smart. Like, okay. Love that movie. So I was like, what am I going to do with this name? And I actually didn't end up using it after that. It was like right after that was that Kyle, because I had like the idea because of the memes that, you know what I mean, that were going around and stuff, you know, like Kyle, you know, Kyle got broken up with, so there's a heart in punches on the wall, you know what I mean? Yeah, so like,
you start saying like, so you were basically like, hey, can I bring this to life for wrestling?
100%. I saw it and I was just like, wouldn't it be cool if somebody just took this and brought it to wrestling, and this was his gimmick. He came out like, you know, with the monster cans, and he's all like, you know, like the Sandman almost, like, you know, like crazy and all extreme and stuff like that. Oh, you definitely see that influence. Straight up. No, absolutely. Huge influence. What's funny about it is that like I basically was a dare. Like honestly, like I made this K out of the monster logo. Like I kind of designed it, right? And there was like a buddy of mine who was just like, dude, like I dare you to like try to make something like of this. And I was just like, all right, fine. Like, you know, I'll try to do something. And I brought it up and everything, and it just became this thing that and here I am now, and I'm, you know.
And out of the gimmicks like that you've out of the gimmicks that hold on.
Cheers.
So out of the gimmicks you've done, that one seems the most, it feels right.
Right. No, I stepped into the shoes, man. It's so weird because it was in my brain for about a full year until the opportunity for it to actually come to life actually like reared its head. You know what I mean?
Because it looks, honestly, and it's not even as an insult, it looks like it's come naturally. Like I said, I wasn't even sure. Like when, like when I spoke to Warhead before, I was like, so like full gimmick, like, well, what's the deal? And he's like, oh, no, like that's not necessarily the case. And I'm like, okay, like, because I mean, it's done real well. So, it's hard to differentiate sometimes. So, I mean, it's been good, obviously seeing you in like video and in gimmick format first. And, the way that you promote yourself online, like you've done a good job at that. And that kind of brings me to the next thing I want to talk about is some of the best online promotional work I've seen during the pandemic for someone to, get their name out there, keep their name out there. I've kind of like dubbed this Kyle versus the world. Talk to me about these little mini shows, these little mini clips you've been doing. What the fuck made you decide to get the world to talk shit about Kyle?
Oh, dude, I'm so glad that you even like said that, dude. Like, I'm like, the idea that somebody's actually enjoying it. But essentially, what it was.
Hilarious.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad you think so. I want to ask, which one's your favorite?
You know what? Here's the thing: is like, I'm a sucker for Pondo.
Legit.
But if I didn't see the title before watching it, I would say the Nick Gage one, because like it's the way it was sold, and it's just like I'm not afraid of, and then like it's all cheery, and then it's like Nick fucking Gage.
Legit, bro. Like I honestly,
so yeah, actually that's kind of cool too. I mean, that's already aged well. The GCW World Heavyweight motherfucking champion, legit. Fucking MDK all day
motherfucking
wants
day
to fucking kill you,
dude. So like, what's funny about that is that I actually called that with Danhausen as well. I have one with Danhausen, like right before he got called by CM Punk, like you're allowed to use my move, and I love it, and I think it's dope. Just before he did that, I was like, yo, Danhausen, do the video for me and shit, right?
Yeah.
So like essentially what it comes from is I have this weird on Instagram. If you look back far enough on my Instagram at @Kyle, you can see that I had this little mini, like, how Chris Jericho had the feud with Dean Malenko where Dean wasn't even there the whole time and he just kind of kept the feud going without him being there. I remember. Okay, so I tried that with Neil Diamond Cutter. Okay. Neil Diamond Cutter looks like my father.
Yeah.
Like he does. He looks like because I put pictures next to us, right? Of he would have like his mohawk with his beard, and I had that look. I had the look at one point, so I went back and I found a picture of myself with the beard and the mohawk, and I put them next to each other, and we both have blue eyes, and we both the same color hair, and we both, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of looks like it could be possible. So in my brain, Kyle would be pissed that Neil Diamond Cutter never got a hold of him. You know what I mean? Like what the hell, man? Like you went out for cigarettes, you like, you know what I mean? You just never fucked my mom and left. You just came to Canada and fucked my mom.
He never smelled me again.
Legit. Like so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna treat this guy like he came to Canada, fucked my mom, and went away. And then so I started posting pictures. I was like, thanks Google for the pictures of my dad that I never got when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. Hashtag El Hijo del Honey Badger. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck. And so I thought to myself, I was like, what would Neil Diamond Cutter say? Because he had seen my stories on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'd seen his name pop up in my story, but he didn't actually respond to me. So I was like, okay, all right, you want to play that game? I'm going to find a way to get you to respond to me. Okay. So I went and I found this thing called the Indie Connect. Okay. Yeah. And their website has a thing called Slamio. And you can pay dudes like, a set amount of money and tell them what you want them to kind of do a promo about, and they'll do it. right? So Neil's on there, and I thought to myself, yo, like, how incredible would this be if he just came up and was just like, fuck you, like, I don't even like the fact that I sired a Kyle, like, you know what I mean? There's a reason I left, fuck you, like, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that, right? So I got into my head and I did this, and the thing is, when I did it, I was stoned. So
like all good ideas start.
Exactly, right. So I'm writing in the little description thing like what I want him to say to me, and I'm like, okay, so I'm Kyle, and I'm from Canada, and I'm on Instagram. Like, it was a real Chris Farley show situation where I'm just like, hi, you're Neil Diamond Cutter, and I want you to be my dad on the internet. And do you think that's awesome? I think that would be cool. So, like, I just sound like this awkward thing where it was just like, can you like pretend to be my dad, like, if you're into it, like
if you're into it?
Yeah, legit.
Wow.
Like,
wow, that sounds like the fucking starting of a completely different conversation.
Legit.
Can you pretend to be my dad if you're into it?
Like, as a joke, right? Like, just to further the whole thing. And so he came back with what he came back with, which understandably, you know, he's like, you didn't tell me much, but you want me to be your dad? Why would you want to look like me? I'm haggard. Like, you know, whatever he said, right? But it was actually really funny. Like, he's really good on the spot with like little to no instruction, right? So I thought to myself, I'm like, what if I did this again, but I actually gave the guy something to say? Like, I'm actually like, yo, fuck with me about drinking Monster or my tattoos or my hat or something, right? And so
actually
that's
put
where
together a real promo and a real like finished product.
Legitimately. So this, like, the Neil Diamond Cutter video, I might still cut together something cool and bring it out. I have it in my brain to do that because I haven't yet. But the one that I put out was the one that was next was Mad Man Pondo.
Yeah.
And I saw Pondo there, and I knew that he is like so funny. Like, just listening to him on the Cole Cabana podcast.
Oh yeah.
He is funny. I knew that he could figure something out, right? And I knew that he'd be hip to it. So I sent him like the most detailed 120 character little message that I could about, yo, like, I'm Kyle, I'm from Canada, and you know, my last win was a fluke, and you know, I punch walls and I drink Monster Energy. And so he came back with this dope ass fucking promo with the chick he's with. Right? It's incredible. But yo, I'm gonna give you this exclusive, PD, okay? There was more to that video, all right, that I had to cut out. All right, listen. So I sent him the detailed message, and I said that I had defeated Warhead, that I had pinned Warhead, okay, hoping that he would be like, oh, fucking, this guy beat Warhead. Warhead's a legend in Canada. You can't beat Warhead. What the hell you know what I mean? And so I sent him this, and it says Warhead, and I even spelled it with the A, thinking that if he saw the E, that he would fuck it up. So I wrote Warhead with an A. Yeah, I was real specific. So he comes back with this part of the promo that I had to cut out. It says here that he pinned the Warhorse. And I don't think he pinned the Warhorse because that would mean that he was on a real tough day that day or something. Or somebody somebody told the Warhorse to take a dive and paid him or something like that. Because there ain't no way this guy pinned a Warhorse. And he legitimately said Warhorse like fucking 5 times. And I was like, fuck, I never fought Warhorse. So like, there's this whole thing.
You could have cut it in, like, because he could have been like, says he pinned Warhorse, and then it cuts to you like Warhead. And like every time he goes to say Warhorse, it just cuts to you going Warhead.
You see, I'm not as creative as you, so I didn't figure that out.
Well, like I told you, with my technical difficulties, prior to this show, like, I've become a cut and paste master. You can put anything you need anywhere.
Straight up, I feel you on that. Legit. That's the Danhausen video. I put it out like first, but it was like the more recent one, and it had like this cut in it where like I cut and my face was painted and stuff, and my girlfriend did that for me, did the paint for me, and it was awesome. And she actually made little
the amount of fucking the production value, so to speak, on that makeup alone was legit. Fucking off the charts for that video.
Dude, I told her that I wanted to do that. She went out and bought the paint and then came back and then like did it. And then we filmed it. It was dope as shit. And like she made the teeth. I have them here that I spit out and they're in a jar. And it legit is just like styrofoam balls that were cut to look like teeth. And I just thought it would be cool.
That was so fucking well put together. Like I said, I know I have my personal favorites, but they you can't like sleep on that one. Like it's fucking hilarious.
It's like the most viewed.
Danhausen's a fucking riot. Like he's everything I've watched with him has been absolute gold. He makes me laugh.
Legit, he's an inspiration for sure for me. I just watched today him tour the Pro Wrestling Tees thing for like a half hour. I was like, this is gold the whole way through.
His online hustle is fucking tremendous.
Honestly, it's inspirational, like for me, because like I'm doing something similar, but like, you know, like I discovered him online after I started doing this. So I was just like, okay, like, you know, whatever, right? And honestly, like Nick Gage was the one who gave me the absolute most. You know what I mean? Like, he went so hard.
He's legit. He's a professional. Like he cut that fucking promo on you. Like he cut that fucking promo on RSP. Like
legit. And he called me a pussy and everything. I was like, oh.
Every single time maybe the case is he just motherfucking Nick Gage. That, you know, that is what it is.
Legit. And like I wanted to leave in everything. Like it ended up being a little long, but he like there was a few times like he would like do a little bit of a pause and like, you know, he said listen a lot, that I decided to cut that out a little bit so you know it wasn't as repetitive and stuff. But what he gave me was such gold, man. It was so great. And he's full on the whole time. I actually at the end I had him say to me you know, because I'd made it a trend that at the end they say I ain't his fucking dad or something like that, because Pondo didn't. He's like, I ain't his fucking dad. I think he's got daddy issues or something. So, maybe his uncle touched him or something like that. And it cuts to me and I'm like, uncles. And so anyway, so he like started that where you know, he'd be like, I ain't his fucking dad. So I wanted everyone to say that after. So Nick Gage went to say it, but I guess he might have gotten tongue-tied, because at the end he goes, oh, by the way, you ain't my motherfucking dad, pussy. And like and so I was like, oh dude, no, I can't, no. Like, you ain't my motherfucking dad, no, it's the other way around and shit, no. So I had to cut that whole thing out, but I still left the end where he called me a pussy.
It just cuts to pussy.
Yeah, pussy. And like the Sandman called me pussy too and shit. So I'm thinking I put that on a t-shirt in green and I'm gonna be swimming in green and shit.
Swimming in pussy.
Legit.
So you make most of your stuff, correct?
Yeah.
Because that's gonna bring me to actually my next point, because we talked about touching on wrestlers who hustle. You actually do a side hustle called Gimmick Apparel, correct?
I do, yeah. Well, honestly, I can't even say that I really do it as much as Greg Gibson does it. Greg Gibson is the guy. He's incredible. He's got the brain. He's got the talent. He does most of what he does. I helped buy a few things. I have helped with some designs. I have, you know, provided, you know, emotional support, you know, stuff like that. I am very much the number two in that organization for sure.
Yeah. So tell me about that organization. Like, tell me about Gimmick Apparel, what they do, what they offer. Like, you know, throw some plugs in here.
Well, they definitely make the best wrestling gear that there possibly can be in Canada. Like, you don't have to order from High Spots. You don't have to, you know, order hand-me-down gear and stuff like that or whatever. Greg makes it all himself. He has the talent to do it. He has the, you know, he's made gear for a lot of the guys from HPW. He's designed a lot of the T-shirts for the guys. You know, I throw in little things here and there, but it's honestly like I can't take like hardly any credit, honestly, because it's mostly Greg. He does an incredible job.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of this stuff, because I mean, one thing about you, to your credit, is awesome, is like you support the fucking boys. Like when you get behind something, you support it, you share it. And like, I see all that stuff. So I get to see some of like, the product that they've put out and some of the stuff that, that's gotten made for you. And over time, like the progress and the quality of what they put out, which kind of brings me to, a lot of the stuff that you've put out yourself. So let's talk about that. What are the few of the That Kyle products that you have put out to this point?
Well, early on, this might sound like a little hubris and stuff like that, but like I'd only had one match as That Kyle, and I decided that I wanted to try to branch out and get my name out there and whatnot. So I found this merchandise thing from England called On the Gear.
Yeah.
And so I have like 4 shirts on there. The one is like a name tag that says, "Hello, I'm That Kyle."
Yeah.
One says, "I pinned your mom." One is the fuck you one that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
And the other one's this one that just says That Kyle in the Amazing Spider-Man style logo.
Yes.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yes.
I designed that myself, which is dope. And then like I have had guys like I've made some friends with some artists at Chongo Chamongo on Instagram. He does the cute art, the cute chibi thing that I had
No Ring
made
North one
for the No Ring North boys. I had that made.
Yeah, I was a little sour about that one. I'm like, oh, so I wasn't on the same show as Kyle, so I fucking
Dude, legitimately, if it didn't cost me like $80 because there was 8 dudes in it, I definitely would have put you and Boone and Shiloh and like everybody else in there. But like, I was just like, all right, just for this one, and put the car in the background.
It's a fucking dope shirt.
Legit, I love it. I have
I love that style that everybody else though too. It's really like it's a cool style of art. So I thought that was cool. It was different. You don't see a lot of wrestling stuff like that. And like that'd be a dope fucking wrestling shirt in Japan. Like
absolutely, definitely. And I'm actually trying to like get into that a little bit because I know a little bit of Japanese, like just from Duolingo, like legitimately, like so like I figured out how to say Kyle, like Kairu, right? Yeah. In Japanese, I figured out how to write it. So I got Chongo to make me just a solo Kyle thing where I'm wearing the t-shirt with the Kairu on it. So I'm just like, branch out, stuff like that. Anime fans will like it. The girls, maybe you'll see it and think that's cute. And in the pose, if you check out the picture, I'm in the pose of Super Mario 3. And that's like what the pose that I'm in on that thing. And I'm like, it says like Smile Kyle so that I could have the 3 in there. And so that's like my rated G for everybody. Here's, everybody can wear it and it doesn't have to be a wrestling shirt. And then like there's this one that was made, there's a sticker so people can see. Yeah. Right there. That's that was made by Alec Hugel. He's the guy who,
and those are the stickers you just got made, correct?
Yes, I just got them made. Alec Hugel is the guy who designed the Pentagon Junior shirt that he wears on AEW Dynamite. Yeah. So I thought I'd toss that in there, just be like, I got something from that guy. How cool is that? But it did cost a pretty penny, not gonna lie.
And how much? And you're selling those stickers now, right?
Yeah. You can hit me up, DM me, and I'll get your address and just PayPal me $3 and I'll send you one. I've already done it. I've sent out 5 packages. One dude got 5, another guy got 5. Well, sent out. It was great.
I'll tell you what. We're gonna get you wired over a couple bucks after the show. What we're gonna do is once this episode goes nice and live on 420, we are going to send the first 5 people to share the YouTube version of this a That Kyle sticker. If you share the video with the caption, fuck that Kyle. So first 5 people to share the video with the caption, fuck that Kyle, are going to get his latest sticker sent out to them in the mail.
Absolutely. I will do that. I don't care.
So yeah, we'll get you wired up after the show, and we'll get those stickers out after people do the share, hopefully on Tuesday there. So you've got your gimmick loaded. You've been doing these videos during the pandemic, keeping the gimmick growing and growing that aura of douchebaggery. What's what are the future goals for that fucking Kyle when, you know, the restrictions lift up? Like, where do you want to go with this? What are some of the, like, you know, what's your big dreams?
Dude, in terms of big dreams, just today, there's this promotion called Kumite. I don't know how to like, I don't know what that is, but it's in England, and it has guys like Big F and Joe in it and stuff like that. Like those guys are involved in it. And I saw that they have a brand new deathmatch title, and it's called the Death Wolf Championship, and it looks so beautiful. They posted that picture, and I wrote underneath, it will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine. Right? And like
Wayne's
yeah.
World, fucking right.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah,
And so
I use that all the, like, I use that shit all the time for things. I love that.
legit, straight up. It's very sunk into my vernacular. So I put that, and that was like a month or so ago, whatever it was, a couple weeks, and they liked that comment, and they just posted something today about how they're going to crown the first champion off a three-way match. And I said to them, yo, when Canada opens up, like they're gonna have to defend it against me, like, you know what I mean? And I had another guy be like, yo, fucking get through me, I'm from Alberta strong or whatever. And I'm just like, Alberta ain't got nothing on fucking worst case Ontario, buddy. So
yes, even the worst case, that's hilarious.
legit.
In
And
another
so
fucking
like
generation,
definitely.
you might be my child, because I use worst case Ontario like it's a bad habit.
Legit, I just thought it was cool to say at the time. But honestly, like ICW No Holds Barred is a huge bucket list item. I got a buddy of mine named Trent. He, like, you know, has done videos about ICW before. He's had correspondence with them and stuff. So I've thought that that's pretty dope. I'm like, dude, put in a good word for me, like, you know, stuff like that. Trying to be sleazy about it, you know what I mean? If anybody does a tour, I'm gonna like go underneath their car and strap myself like Sideshow Bob. If I have to do that, I will, to get on this fucking tour to that place. I guarantee it. I want to wrestle in Zona 23 because I'm jealous of Warhead and Hardbody. I want to like I want to be in Pit Fighter X. Legit.
Yeah, Pit
I want to
Fighter.
be in Pit Fighter
Fighter
X.
looks
Hardcore.
like a fucking riot.
Oh, straight up, dude. And like GCW was obviously a huge dream. Like that probably won't happen for fucking ever. It was like whatever. But like dreams are there. I want to wrestle G Raver. Like that.
But I mean,
I want
push
that to
it.
happen.
You've got a fucking relatable gimmick. So I mean, if you get yourself out there and, you know, you push that, it's an offbeat gimmick that would resonate with that crowd. So don't say like you know, that's going to be a long time, or, you know, like, fuck that attitude. Like, just push your gimmick and like go for it.
I appreciate that. There's a few people that know of me. Like I've talked to Bam Sullivan a little bit, who has a lot to do with H2O, which I would absolutely love to go and spend like 6 months and get trained there for a little bit. I've actually even talked to, like, you know, people in my life about it, where I'm just like, yo, like, what if I just took off for 6 months and just moved to New Jersey to train, like, you know, and then came back. And you know what I mean? And I thought to myself, I'm like, what would I say to them? And I'm just like, yo, like, I'm from Canada. I want to learn, take everything back to Canada with me. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that would be cool, like, you know, a cool experience. And definitely the H2O school is someplace I'd like to at least visit, like at least once. You know what I mean? If not, just to like pay them some money just so I can hang out there for like 6 months and just take vigorous notes. Absorb, yes, like a sponge, like a green sponge.
Yeah. No, that's fucking awesome though. So that's you know, those are the end goals for you right now.
Legit. And to kill it at the next No Ring North, which hopefully is sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, forever postponed. Just like the rest of the fucking world in Ontario, so to speak, is now.
Fingers crossed in a, you know, maybe a month or so. Maybe we might have something. Who knows?
Yeah, I fucking need to smash sooner rather than later.
I hear that.
That could be taken out of fucking context as just as much as anything else. But
that too.
At this point, I think we're going to you know, wrap the fucking show up. Tell everybody one more time, where are you going to find that Kyle?
You can find that Kyle on Instagram at @thatkyle. I have a failed TikTok that I no longer go on anymore, but there's like 6 videos on it that you can go on and laugh about. Also at @thatkyle. On the gear.uk. Look for my shirts on there. Deathmatch Worldwide, which, by the way, I am the one that opened the door to Deathmatch Worldwide to every Canadian that wants to go in there and whatnot. I'm the guy who made that correspondence, who was just like, guys, Death Proof happened in Canada, and like No Ring North is happening in Canada, and here's all these guys, and they're awesome. And this guy's just like, blah, 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 send me money, and I'll put you on my store. And I'm just like, absolutely, here is this, and he made me, he doesn't have PayPal either, so this is a funny story. I had to find a guy in the US to actually give me the trust, and for him to send the money and then give it to him, and then I ended up the artist guy Chongo hooked me up. And Warhead's on there too. Go on there and buy his shirt, buy 2 of my shirts that are on there. The this one, the Alec Hugel designs on there, as well as a design that I had made by Heavy Metal, is like a metal logo designer thing called Slay Thy Name. It's on there too. It looks dope too. I think that's it. YouTube.
Well, fuck, maybe I'll have to take advantage of that venue and throw some of the PD Skillz shit that I've been working on there when it comes.
Brother,
out.
I will send you Buddy's email and you can hook yourself up on that hardcore. That would be dope. I would love to see more Canadian names on there, because right now there's only 2.
Well, there you go. I'll try and make it number 3. But yeah, that's where you can find everything for that, Kyle. As always, you can find me everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, one simple at PD Skillz Show. Again, thank you, Kyle, for being part of episode 4. I don't know if you remember this, but you actually asked to be part of episode 4 and 20. I've made 4 happen. I can't promise the latter quite yet. You might have to do something fucking special between now and then, if the
There's
world
some time
lets us.
there. There's some time there. Don't count me out.
Until next time, cans up, save the last drop for the last drop. This has been the 420 edition of the PD Skillz Show. I'm PD Skillz. He's that Kyle. We are out of here.